All right, guys, so here's what's up. We are going to talk about the, all right, so on Tuesday, on Tuesday, we talked a little bit about the colonies and how they had started their own governments and how the Native Americans and the French were coming in and starting to attack them, and they had the whole join or die thing, right? If you tuned in or you've watched that video, which I'm sure all of you guys have, yeah, all right. That's where we were on Tuesday. All right, so today what we're going to talk about is the startup of the French and Indian War. All right, we are going to zoom through this so fast, okay? There are some notes that I've attached that go along with this PowerPoint that are fill in the blank and all of that. So if that's the way you need to do it to remember for yourself, you are more than welcome to do that. Otherwise, this PowerPoint is up to you guys, so you're good. All right, so who is the French and Indian War fought between? The French and the Native Americans are going to be on both sides. Who is the other big, what? They're going to be on both sides. One more big one. Where do our colonies come from? Who settled the English coast? Who did we break away from country? They live over across the pond. Got the really cool flag. Yes, the English. There we go. Hold up. The English. Great Britain. Okay, so we have the French versus the English. You have Great Britain and their Native American allies, and the French and their Native American allies. The question of the French and Indian War is, why did we fight this war? Is it Great Britain protecting the colonists because they are still technically part of Great Britain? Or is it because Great Britain was protecting their interests and the people making them money? All right, so the line for that is going to be what we eventually fight the American Revolution over, because wars cost money, right? How do we pay for wars? Starts with a T. Taxes, very good. All right, so people pay taxes to pay for the wars. So who has to pay the taxes at the French and Indian War? That's going to be the line. All right, when did it happen? 1754 to 1763. It's part of what's called the 7 Years' War, which was a global war, but we don't call it a world war. Where this is the, it's the fallout of the 7 Years' War, but it's in North America. So it's the fallout in the colonies. So what you have is you have this area over here, which is past or to the west of the Mississippi and Ohio, which is claimed by France, and you have the English coast, which is claimed by Great Britain. All right, the area right here is the contested area. All right, why might you fight over this area? It has what? It has rivers. Very good. Why are rivers important? You get water from them, and another big one. Okay, so food, water, yes, but what else? Big one. You can move around, you can go down through them, and you can trade. They are good for defense as well. They're going to be strategic, military strategic. Yeah, okay, that works, whatever. They're good for transportation, okay? So technically, the Great Lakes have connections into the Ohio River. The Ohio River runs into the Mississippi, and where does the Mississippi run? What's this called? That big, gigantic area in between Florida and Mexico, the body of water. The Gulf of Mexico, very good. Who controls portions of the Gulf of Mexico? Spanish, okay? All right, the Spanish have gone into Mexico, Central America, and South America, and they have found minerals of all kinds. They have found gold. They have found resources that we as the English, or we as the colonists, want. So you need access to New Orleans and you need access to the Gulf, so everybody's going to fight over this area, okay? That's why it's so important. All right, important people in battles. We're not going to really go into detail on this war because we are just kind of zooming through this one. We will go into detail on the American Revolution and when we talk about the Spanish-American War. But it is part of the 7 Years' War. The important battles, the really big ones, are Fort Necessity and the battles at Quebec and Montreal, because it's going to be what kicks the French out of Canada. And it kicks the French control out of Canada. It doesn't kick French people out of Canada because you still have a huge French-Canadian population that lives in Canada today. And the important people, all of these guys are pretty important. The most important one is George Washington. Who is George Washington? He was the first of the presidents. He is number one. All right, Treaty of Paris, 1763 is going to end the war. All right, so remember we had the French, the Spanish, and the British over here. Who lost the most land? Check out the map. The French. The French got kicked out of North America. Long-term effects. It is going to cause some troubles with the Native Americans, so we're going to continue fighting them. That's going to be Pontiac's War. We may or may not get to that. I'm going to probably say it might not happen, but all you need to know is we still have hostilities against the Native Americans. All right. The overall effects, the big effects for the French and Indian War are that France lost its territory in North America and Great Britain gained it, and that Great Britain not incurred. If I say incurred, do y'all know what incurred means? Yes? No? They gained, there we go. They gained a lot of taxes because the war cost so much, okay? So who is going to pay that is going to lead to the American Revolution. That's the end. Okay. Think and remember all of that. Hang on to it, okay? We're going to change gears really fast, and then we're going to hop back over here. Okay. Eventually, it's going to pop up. Promise. Okay, there we go. Okay, what is a political cartoon? Yeah, it's a cartoon that critiques politics or current events, okay? If you look at the exaggerated features usually on there, or the little small details, that's how you tell whatever the artist is trying to say or what they're trying to comment on. And then the question is, are there any subjects that are limited and shouldn't be political cartoons? Unless it is a call to violence, no. Everything is free game for cartoons. Satire is like the way we make fun of and look at the world in a lot of ways. So pretty much everything is free game. All right, so I don't think you guys can really see this one all that great. Can you? Okay, so you can see it pretty good. So point out some things to me that you see. I'm not going to call on you this time. I will call on you next time. Tell me some things that you see. You have a feeling you know something? What do you think you know? Okay. Okay. So there is a wall. What does the wall say? Literacy test, right? All right, so it's not guns pointing out of it. I had somebody say that pens earlier, and pens is a good one too, but what does it look like they are doing? Uh-huh. So they want them to go away, right? Who might these people be? Maybe lower class people. Why might you have to pass a literacy test? Or why might you not be able to pass a literacy test? Think about, okay, who is this guy hovering creepily back here? Got the big top hat, it's got the flag on it. Uncle Sam, all right? So what is on the other side of that wall? Uh-huh. So what might that wall represent? It is dividing other countries from our country. It represents the literacy test. So who might these people be? Yes. Okay. This is the great wave of immigration for the 1920s. You had to pass a literacy test. It was one of the ways that they kept people out of the country at the time. So that's what they're trying to say. That's what the political, it's a critique on that. All right. This one should be easier for us, okay? Because it's a current event. All right. Point to me something that you see, Robert. Donald Trump. Very good. All right. This one? This was made a couple of days ago. This one's fairly recent. It was made after the town halls. I can't remember the exact date for it. All right, so Robert said we see Trump. Your name is Robert, right? I'm not just, okay, good. Woo. Your name is Caroline? Yes. Caroline, what is one thing you see? You see Joe Biden. Tell me. Starts with it's Jacob. Yes. All right, Jacob, what do you see?
The fact checker.
The fact checker. Miles?
I want to say it's a bunch of boxes full of justice, but I'm not.
It is a whole bunch of,
And a bunch of.
yeah, it's not taxes. What might it be? If the fact checker is.
Well, I'm saying during when I was watching these things, my mom had a grocery store, and I asked what she was doing, and she said she was listening to that fact check and everything that for a time ago. So, those are papers, fact checking everything that you're lying about, right?
Okay, you were like dead on the center here. Okay, what it is, who is being fact checked in this, Brenda? Is Joe Biden close to the fact checker?
No.
No, so do you think that he's being fact checked? No. All right, this one is a critique on, it's actually a critique on the media as opposed to a critique on either presidential candidate, okay? Because during the town halls, which is where Biden and Trump both talked to regular people separately, they had a fact check running the entire time for Trump, and they didn't do that for Biden. So that's what this is saying. It's a critique on the media about them fact checking everything Trump says and letting Biden get slip under the radar for it. You sent you sent a picture and all that through the group, didn't you? I know you watched it, so you're. I don't have my phone on me the other day. I know you watched it, so you're good. And you commented on it there and stuff. We're square. All right. So you do what? Yeah, well, that's one of the exaggerated pictures. They pick on Trump for just about everything. And you can see like Biden has like the exaggerated chin. That's going to be his thing. That was his thing when he was vice president too.
When I was watching the difference in I was like, I don't think you go from being pale to orange like that, but alright.
That's like, have y'all seen the episode of Friends with Ross and the spray can machine? And he comes out like, yeah. Okay, sorry. So I have a couple of more of these. I was gonna do it to where we looked at them separately, but we can look at them together really quick. We'll just go through them a little bit faster. All right. What do you guys and online people, y'all can answer in the chat. What are some things we see in this one? A lot of toilet paper. Robert, point something out for us. A couch. All right. So where might she be? At her home. All right. Oh, what you think?
Okay,
Yeah, what's her name? Yeah, Dorothy. That's Dorothy from Wizard of Oz.
just by looking at everything that I've seen in this so far, it looks like he might be, being taxes and everything, because there's a lot of really big advertising, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of check marks on it.
So what might this be?
Basically, like her having her shoes to be.
So she wants to be not at home. So what is this a critique of? Quarantine. Yes, this is a critique of quarantine. You can tell because of all the toilet paper, the hand sanitizer, and because she is trying to get anywhere but at home. All right. Very good job, guys. All right. Yeah, I quite like this one. This one was this one's several, I think it's almost a year or so old actually. All right. What do we see? Jacob, tell us one thing. All right, what does a donkey represent? Yes, the Democratic Party. The elephant is the Republican Party. All right, so what is the donkey doing to himself, Brenda? Yeah, he's kind of stabbing himself, right? All right, what is he stabbing himself with, Caroline? What does the sword say? Oh, somebody who can read that far away. Miles? Government shutdown. And what does the little bubble say above him? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what do you, Robert, is Trump getting hit in this one? No? All right, so what do y'all think that means? If we were on the same page, we'd be in the same book. We'd get in there, all right? I'm on a page and you're in the same book. Come to my page real fast. Keep going down that. She said that.
You've met me before, you can speak louder.
She said that he is sitting back and watching it happen. All right, so we're in the same book, but what page are we on?
I think the government shut down, they might have been shooting themselves in the foot, but trying to get Trump as well.
Exactly. That's exactly what this one is saying. It's basically saying that the Democratic government shutdown was them impaling themselves, trying to take out Trump, and it didn't work. All right, so this one is pro-Trump and negative towards the Democratic Party. All right?
I have a question.
That's what.
You know how Trump does like impeachment stuff?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Okay, so an impeachment is where there are charges brought against you to get you pulled out of office as president. You have to go through an impeachment trial in the House and the Senate. The House impeached Trump. The Senate did not impeach Trump. With him and with Bill Clinton, it is purely politics. There was nothing. Now, Bill Clinton lied under oath, which is technically against the law, but it's not enough for you to be removed from office. But when Bill Clinton was president, there was a Republican House and a Democrat Senate. So the Republicans charged him with impeachment, and then the Democrats said, nah, he's our boy, we're going to take care of it. And then this past year, you have a Democrat-run House and a Republican-run Senate, So the Democrats said, we can pull up all of this Russian collusion stuff and we'll get Trump. And they said, we got him. And the Senate said, no, you didn't. That's our boy. We're going to take care of him. Basically. Oh, okay, Tim, go ahead, man. Now I've showed, you have seen this one? Yeah, this was fairly recent.
Not like the cartoon version, but like I've actually seen, her holding up her hand.
Who is him? Who is she? Anybody know who she is? She is an important lady, all right? When you see a campaign poster, she's not the campaign manager, you're getting close. If you see a campaign poster, it'll say the president's name or the person running for president's name and then this person's name. Who is this person? So like Trump would be Trump Pence. Biden's or Biden Harris. Who are Pence and Harris? Is she who? She is technically helping him, but what position? The vice president, yes. Kamala Harris is Biden's. No, go ahead, no.
Oh, is she the lady that was going on the turning too young to actually be president?
They had, I don't think it was that she was too young to be president. There was a question of whether she could legitimately be president or vice president, and I think it got debunked. But I can't remember that. There's been so many scandals. I can't keep track of all of them, just most of them. That one didn't rock the waves very enough for me to remember it. Harris is his pick for VP. All right, what do y'all think this means now knowing that? So if you said she was helping him, right? All right, so if she's helping him, does it look like she's helping him or something else maybe? A little further down that path. Who would you say was in charge if you looked at this picture? Why would you say that? She's bigger and she's holding him up, right? All right, is the vice president supposed to be in charge? So what might the commentary be? Yes, very good. All right, and that ties back into like Biden being a little bit older and this kind of push of him being like the face but not the mind, I guess. Does that make sense? So this one's kind of just neutral on both sides. I just thought that one was really funny when I found it. So. Yeah. They actually were very, very nice to Kamala Harris. Like you see her like, because the point of political cartoon is that it's supposed to exaggerate certain features. So like Obama had the long skinny face and the tall skinny body. Bush had huge ears. Trump they've made fun of everything on Trump. What was Trump's press secretary, Huckabee Sanders? She has like very prominent eyebrows. They were not very nice to her. But they were very nice to Kamala. Like the only thing they did was like emphasize her cheekbones and her mouth. Yeah, and then the thing about Biden is he's got a long chin and beady eyes. So that's what that was for him. All right, last one. Okay, what we see, huh?
Oh no,
All right, Robert, tell us one thing. What you see? You see the American flag. All right, so whose office might this be? Donald Trump's. All right, Caroline, what is something that you see? All right, you see the case. What does the case say, Miles? All right, what is inside the case, Jacob?
Not gonna lie, I can't.
See that far away?
I thought it was you.
I forgot my glasses.
Oh.
I'm trying to find them.
Well, listen to the voice of your conscience that sounds like Miles.
Oh my God, yes,
Blaine, was that you, Jacob? I think that was you. Oh, Yes, very good. It says blame. So Brenda, our commentary over here, who's been doing great. What do you think this means?
It's a blame, right?
Yes, she said blame.
So, is it just like, it looks like it's a book, but it's just like a book of stuff you can do that.
So okay, it's a case. So like, you know how if you go into a department store or something like that, they've got the thing in the back wall, like the glass case, it'll have the fire extinguisher in it or something. You've got to break the glass. I'm probably showing my age there, but that's what that is. It's a in case of recession case. So what's inside it?
I want to say it's probably like him going at for the one thing that could happen or have happened. Okay, so
What's in the case?
when the fingers,
Yeah, like the foam fingers. So what does that mean?
he's blaming other people for things that have happened.
For something specific, the top of the case, the recession. Yeah. Well, it is technically tied into COVID because COVID caused the economic tilt, and then we've had a recession, and the recession is the stagnation of it. But surprisingly, it actually we built it back up pretty quickly. But this one is negative against Donald Trump. So.
I first thought was, there was going to be like 40 year alive and Biden, but in the
Say what?
He's really twisted around things that Biden says. He said, oh, well, this will not happen, this, or he said this, and Biden replied, I've never said that.
You know, and like, I mean, to be fair to both sides, I think that if Trump had been less of an a-hole and had kind of sat back and shut his mouth, that he would have, without question, won the debate. Because Biden did really well, very surprisingly well, but Biden, like if you go through and you listen to it, he lists none of his policies or plans. He just kind of says things. So I think that if Trump would have sat back and shut his mouth, which we all know he can't do, he would have done a lot better. But I think that the next one is going to be so very interesting.
Watched all 5 minutes of it, and it was terrible. Everybody talking over each other.
Oh my gosh, it's awful.
She wouldn't back down. There's people quiet, folks stop talking.
Look, I mean, I feel bad for poor Chris Wallace, who was the moderator, but he did not get paid enough for that.
My mom has said that he shouldn't be the moderator anymore, and that they would shut up if they had a black woman.
I would not want a mother in there because, like, you know what I mean? Because sorry guys, women can be mean, and like I am more afraid of my mother than I am of my father. Like I don't want my father to get mad at me because I have been spanked by him before, and I don't need that repeated. But I am more afraid of my mom.
My biggest flex is that I've never had a woman.
I'm gonna throw something at you.
No,
You don't have any siblings?
I do, but.
Did you blame your sibling, or do we have to put you in
I
the chair?
was the person to get blamed. I was always the person to get blamed.
Mm-hmm.
But there was never like anything like against me that actually proved that I did anything. For instance, my brother would hit me, and I just sit there and take it because I can't hit him back yet. Then my mom would literally throw me out the window in front of me.
Yeah, that's a good thing that you did not hit your brother.
And I always keep my grades up and I'm like, I'm gonna take your phone or something. And I'm like, my phone's really the only thing I don't even take it. Yeah.
I had a twin sister. I got a spanking every day of kindergarten year. Every day. I did not miss a day. Some people are just fortunate. Whatever. All right. So what you're gonna do with the political cartoons and why we went through all of this? You guys are going to be making your own political cartoon. All right. So we talked about the divide for the French and Indian War. There is this idea of who is supposed to be paid for the war. Is it the colonists or the English citizens? Okay, because the war costs a lot of money, so who's going to pay for it? And there's a divide of 4 different people groups. All right. On one side, you have the lower class in the colonies who live out on the frontier, out in the backwoods, like the Virginians, and are being attacked by the French and the Indians and say, hey, we won't help. We are British. Come and help us. And then you've got the upper class of the British colonies who say, well, hang on now. All right. Now, the upper class of the British colonies are seeing it as Britain has left us alone. We are okay. It's this idea of salutary neglect. So this idea of neglect over a long period of time, allowing somebody or allowing a group to gain more and more control of their freedom. So if I'm like y'all's parent, okay, I am your mother, and I say, all right, my children, fly, be free. All right, you don't have a curfew. You can go out whenever you want. You can eat whatever you want. Just don't get into too much trouble. All right, what are y'all gonna do? You're gonna have fun, right? Well, you're not gonna start. Hopefully, you don't start off by getting in trouble. But now I know who I need to watch out for.
If I were to be honest, I'd probably stay home and that's exactly what I did.
Huh. Okay, Miles is gonna be our star pupil. All right, but everybody else is probably gonna go out and do some things, right? All right, you don't have any. What are you gonna do? You can go out whenever you want. Already? Well, okay. Well, you don't have. Yeah. All right. Well, y'all don't have to tell me. Y'all just go. All right. As your figurative mother at the moment, y'all go. Okay. Just don't get in trouble. All right. But you're driving down the road and you get into a fender bender. All right. You get a dent in your nice shiny car. Y'all gonna tell me about it? Why not? I probably won't murder you, but you will get in trouble, right? What happens when you get in trouble? Yeah, okay, well, yeah, I'm probably gonna say some things to you, but what am I going to do? I am gonna ask if you're okay, yeah, but am I just gonna take away your driving privileges? I'm gonna take away all of your privileges, right? If I give you freedom and you say, all right, and then you screw up and then you have to come and tell me that you've screwed up, I'm gonna start taking freedoms away from you, right? No, it was your fault. In this scenario, it was your fault, all right? It's because you were out late doing things you ought not be doing, all right? That's what the English colonists say. All right, the upper class, they say, look, we've started governments of our own. We've kind of started controlling our own interests, and we have all this freedom. If we ask Great Britain to come over and help us, they're going to stay, and they're going to take away these freedoms that we've created. And we are kind of reluctant to do that. All right, so those are the first two positions. Colonists who don't want help, colonists who do want help. Then you have the British citizens. Lower class British citizens are going to be against the war. Why might they be against the war? They don't want to pay for it, right? Taxes are how we pay for wars. If the taxes go up, who's the first that's going to get hit? The lower class, right? So they say, leave them alone. We don't need them. They're our colonies. We're good. All right, but then you've got the upper class of the British colony, of the British and English living people who say, well, but hold on now, because I, as a manufacturer, have sent Brenda, Miles, Jacob over to the colonies, and they're making me money. So y'all need to protect my interests. Y'all need to protect our citizens. We've got to go to war. All right, so 4 people groups: colonists who want to go to war or who want British help, colonists who do not want British help, British citizens who do not want Britain to help, British citizens who do want Britain to help. All right, and the question is, who is going to pay for this war at the end of the line? Is it going to be the people who, the British, is it because the British are protecting their interests and their money and their economic investment that they came over here? Or is it because they were protecting their people? Because if it's they're protecting their economic investments, then the people back home have to pay for it. If it's because they're protecting the colonists, it's the colonists that have to pay for it. Does that make sense? Kind of? All right, so you are taking one of these positions based on your house. If you are a Gryffindor, you are doing a British citizen who supported the English intervention. If you're a Slytherin, a British citizen who did not support. If you're Hufflepuff, a colonist who wanted the support of England. If you're a Ravenclaw, you do not want the support. All right, does this make sense? Kind of. We have questions? Kind of. Y'all want an example? Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna. Erase this. All right, so which position do we want to take? Do we want to be for or against the English help? For it? Okay, do we want to be a British citizen or a colonist? You want us to be a colonist? All right, so let's be a British citizen. I haven't got to be a British citizen yet, sorry. Let me take over. All right, so I've got my colonist here. Nope, I got my British citizen here. How can I show that he is a British citizen? Oh, that's a good one. I haven't heard T yet. I like that one. Okay, so I'm gonna give him. Let me give him his body. Is he wealthy or poor? Yeah, he's wealthy, right? I gotta make him to where I can actually reach him. Also, y'all remember that I'm a history teacher, not an art teacher. Got some nice clothes, some nice pants. We'll give him some nice boots. Got them little heels on them. All right, so he's got a T, right? I'm gonna put in a little rebel, no, not a rebel jack, the Union Jack. Rebel Jack's a very different thing. We don't want to put that on. All right, Union Jack. All right, English guy, got his T. We'll even give him a nice little hat. All right. Is he for or against the war? For it, right? So how can we show that he is for it?
By showing the last one.
Okay. You said money in his pockets? You got $20 in his pocket. There we go. All right, there's his bag of money. All right, so we've got a British merchant. He's pretty wealthy. He's got his money with him. All right, so how do we show him being wanting to send help to the colonies? Giving them what? Not money. We're not technically sending money over there. We're sending, and which would be categorized as, what's the umbrella term of, like aid. We're sending aid to the colonies, right? So we'll draw. Well, it's not that big. All right, so here are my colonies and the line. There's my rivers. Yay, colonies, okay? So how do I show A being sent? Boats, okay? Huh? You want many people? Okay, we'll do this. I'm gonna draw a Band-Aid boat. That way I don't have to write the word aid. Yep, it's a Band-Aid, but it's also a boat. It looks like a bone, but it's actually a bear.
Oh, I see.
All right, so there's our political cartoon. Does that make sense? Okay. I realize the people at home can't see our amazing drawing.
It looks beautiful.
It's pretty nice.
Really.
Excuse you. His head is completely on his head. Do you want to fail too, Jacob? His head is not off center.
It was a joke at first, but I'm actually failing.
Let's see, hold up. There is our
Beautiful drawing.
beautiful drawing. This is the hardest thing I have ever done because it's like mini.
Oh.
There, very. No, because it's like it's mirrored. So like if I move
Oh, I thought.
this away, it goes the wrong. Yep. All right, my online people. If you guys have questions, then I'm here to answer questions. If you have no questions, you are free to go. All right, so if you guys don't have questions.
Bye.
Go ahead and start. If you want to do them on a computer, I'm totally fine with that. But it's got to look like it's got to be extra if you do it on the computer. You know what I mean? It's got to blow my mind. All right. If you do it on paper, I do have some construction paper over there that you can use. It's in that second drawer in the middle. Since I'm saying yes, you may use it, you don't have to ask. You can use it. But just, try not to get like 25. Question. What house you're in? If you don't know what house you're in, oh, they all gone? They're all gone.